Hari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Yashodanandana Brajajanandana Yashodanandana Brajajanandana Yashodanandana Brajajanandana Yamuna Tira Manachari Tira Yamuna Tira Manachari Tira Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Auranga Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Gaur Pramanande Hari Gaur Janmishwar Rajagacharya Stutara Satasi Sila Bhai Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Na Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parajagacharya Stutara Satasi Sila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai Anantagari Vaishnava Binda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तविंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय श्री वृंदावन मधुर धाम की जय मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जय जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय अलाचवानी रमणीति धाम की जय गंगा मैया जमुना मैया की जय भक्ति देवी श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की जय निताय समवेत वैष्णववृंद की जय निताय गौर प्रमानंदे हरि हरि all glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai So we are going to recite Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, text 10, and we made a 6 question, and we're going to answer, try to answer, find the answer in Prabhupada's book. So before that, third chapter, text 10. Before that, we're going to recite, invoke the mercy of Lord Krishna in the form of Vasudeva. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayat Astaprayesa Bhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki Pakankarati Bachalam Pangulangayate Girim Jatkipatamam Vande Sri Guru Dinatarinam Paramanandamadamam Sri Chaitanishwaram Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishkaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavati Paschata Deshatarine Panchakalpa Taruvesha Kripa Sindhuvacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Binda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama. In case if you are hungry. So first question is, I'm going to read the questions. I'm sure you all got it. If you are in a WhatsApp member, what is the purpose of creation and life? Is material creation a gift from God? If so, how and why? Second question, since activities takes us to bondage and cause suffering and inactivities free us from bondage, why does Krishna inspire Arjuna to act? See, the whole idea was that karma binds us and jnana liberates us. But it looks like the first question on the third chapter, Arjuna says, since the intelligence is higher, why you are inspiring me to join this ghastly warfare? So Arjuna got bewildered. Not that he got bewildered, but he put into that bewilderment for our inquisitiveness to be pacified. So we put that question. So we're going to discuss that. The third question is, how is lying to ourselves very dangerous? I'm not saying lying to others. That's common, everybody does. But lying to yourself, or lying to myself, very, very dangerous. So we'll discuss that. And then since Jnana Yoga means it ultimately liberates you from this material world. Gives liberation. How does Krishna show Karma Yoga is better than Jnana Yoga? Not only inspiring, now Krishna is saying it is actually better than Jnana Yoga, which give liberation. So why? And it's interestingly that Prabhupada actually translate Karma Yoga as a action in Krishna consciousness. So there is a very little funny story. Atmatata Prabhu went for a book distribution and he met this big Mayavadi in South India. And he was showing the book. You know, he's trying to sell. Those days is very hard. He said, no, I don't want to look at this book. I said, oh, why? Our Guru Maharaj written so nicely. He made successful so many human beings as a devotee of Krishna. He said, no, you Guru Maharaj put Krishna everywhere. He said, I didn't see it. He said, bring the book. So that means that Mayavadi read our book. So he opened the third chapter. This is the chapter we are discussing. He says, see, this says Karma Yoga. And look at what he writes. He writes action in Krishna consciousness. Where is Krishna here? So when the devotee told Prabhupada, Prabhupada laughed and laughed and laughed. Prabhupada said, yes, they are trying to take out Krishna from Bhagavad Gita. I'm trying to put it back. And that is disturbing. Okay, so chapter 10. We recite together. Saha Jagna Praja Srishta Puruvacha Prajapati Anena Pravishadham Eshava Tastika Madhuk. Translation, Prabhu?
Bless them by saying, be thou happy by this sacrifice, because its performance will bestow upon you all desirable things.
Very good. Yes, the question was, what is the purpose of creation in my life? Srila Prabhupada answer in the purport. Let's read that.
The material comfort the conditions from back home, back to that. All elements within the material condition are conditioned by material because of your forgetfulness of your relationship, the supreme personality of God. The Vedic principles are to help us understand this eternal relation, as it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Vedaishcha saivartaham eva vedaya. The Lord says that the purpose of the Vedas is to understand. In the Vedic hymns it is said, Atim Vishvashyat
Meshram.
Therefore, the Lord of the living entities is the supreme personality of God. In the Srimad Bhagavatam also, Srila Sukadeva Goswami describes the Lord as Pati in so many ways.
Sriyapati, Jagnapati, Prajapati, Dhiyampati, Lokapati, Dharapati, Patirgati, Chandraka, Vrishni, Sattatam, Prashidatam me Bhagavan Satampati. Beautiful verse.
Prajapati is the Lord of all worlds, all beauty.
Okay, so the answer is right here.
Right.
The Lord created this material world for the conditioned soul to learn. That's the next paragraph, Prabhupada, I'm reading. How to perform jagna. Jagna means right now we are doing jagna. We are doing hearing Krishna. We are giving our time, our attention, our energy, our body, our mind, everything for his pleasure. So this is jagna. Jagna means that which pleases Krishna. Sacrifice. So Prabhupada writes, the Lord created this material world for the conditioned soul to learn how to perform jagna, sacrifice, for the satisfaction of Vishnu. So what? So that while in the material world, they can live very comfortably without anxiety. In other words, bhogena punyam kusalena papam. Whatever you're destined to get the good result in life, you will get it. Krishna did not say don't enjoy that. Nishingadev told to Prahlad Maharaj, this is 9.10. Sorry, 7th canto, 10th chapter, text 13. You can look at it. Bhogena punyam kusalena papam. Whatever you are destined to face, the good deeds, you should enjoy it, but don't be attached to it. As if like a passing by, nice prasadam, nice facility, whatever. But you should do every day some tapasya, because pap, sinful reaction will come. To neutralize that, you should do also. So if you do both, that you do your devotional service, little austerity, then you can live happy while you are in the material world, and end of life you go back home. So this is a very important, that every human being should do some Krishna consciousness practice every day. So the bad reaction they will neutralize instead of suffer. Most of the people suffer because they don't do anything for God, for Krishna. So Prabhupada writes here, then after finishing the present material body, they can enter into the kingdom of God. That is the whole program for the conditioned soul. What a beautiful paragraph Prabhupada writes, isn't it? By performing jhana, conditioned soul gradually become Krishna conscious and become godly in all respect. In this age of Kali, Sankirtan Jagna, chanting of the names, is recommended by the Vedic scriptures. And this transcendental system was introduced by Lord Chaitanya for the deliverance of all the men in this age. Sankirtan Jagna and Krishna consciousness go well together. Lord Krishna in his devotional form, as Lord Chaitanya is mentioned in this Srimad Bhagavatam, as follows. Krishna Varnam Tisha Krishna Shanga Banga Sraparshadam Jagge Sanketana Right Jajanti He Sumedasa. Can you read the translation, Prabhu? Okay. So what I understand from this verse, I'm going to explain a few minutes. That this verse is a very interesting verse. I love this verse actually. It says, what is this referring to actually? Krishna is telling the system of Jagna is there right from the beginning of creation. Brahmaji did the austerity. It's not something new. Right, the day one of this material creation. So how do we understand that everybody has to do jhana? Now, for an example, when creation is made, just like you can imagine two parents or parents beget a child. They arrange for taking care of the child also or not? Yeah. When generally, we're not talking about some weird person who wants to like, yeah. But in general, when parents get a child, they generally have a plan to take care of the child. So that's normal. So this is what in this verse explaining that Krishna created this material world. He impregnated material nature with us, and he also put a system how to take care. Now, somebody will say, well, how do we see Krishna is taking care? You have to do your job. For an example, mother may give breast milk to the child, but the child also, can you open the mother gives the breast milk to the child, but the child also has to suck the breast, no? When mother gives the breast milk to the child, mother has the intention of what? Taking care of the child. Now, Haribol, welcome. Now, if the child has to do anything or nothing, child has to suck the breast milk too. You follow? So similarly, Krishna does his job, But we also have a job. Like mother gives the breast milk, that doesn't mean child is healthy. Or he has to suck the milk. So this is a comparison to this sloka. It's very nice. Next question raised. We have a nice group on the Zoom also. Since activities takes us bondage and cause suffering, inactivities free us from bondage. Why does Krishna inspire Arjuna to act and thus remain free from bondage? So from this, what we understand from this sloka is very nice. We're talking about, if you have Bhagavad Gita, the 10, what is that? 3.10. If we find ourselves in this pandemic, I'm just using the same COVID-19. Now, we are very cautious. We were last 1 year, very cautious, having masks, social distancing, assessing your health. If you touch something, wash your hand. So many new rules that for our own benefit, we created this. But if somebody already got infected, what he should do? He should just worry about taking care, or he has to take care of the disease. So it's not applicable that, if you just wash your hand, if you have a mask, you will be okay, even you got positive. Will you be okay just by wearing mask if you got positive? No. So we should understand this verse another way, that we already got infected by the three modes. It's not like something, we will prevent now. From now on, we will not mix with the three modes. Well, we already infected. If you already got positive COVID, this mask will not help you anymore. You need to seriously take doctor's advice. Otherwise, it will kill you. It's happening. So we have to see from that angle. This is one. Another answer is 3.9. It's a beautiful verse. Jaggartat karmana annatra lokayam karma bandhana tadartham karma kunteya mukta sangha samachara. This is one verse. Everybody should memorize this. Why activity actually will give more than inactivity? In other words, karma yoga is higher than jnana yoga based on that verse. So what I understood, and I was looking at different persons' commentary, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, beautiful. All living beings live at the fleeting junction of the past, yes, and the future. That junction is the present, which is there at one moment and gone the next. All jivas, living beings, follow their bodily impulses to eat, sleep, procreate, protect. But we human can do something more. We can regulate these impulses that offer some pleasure in the present, can instead focus on creating some better arrangement for the future. So indeed, all the progress that has lifted humanity above the animal world has come from this ability to trade the present for the future. We do this, no? Why you are cautious when you drive? Because you don't want to have an accident. What are you trying to say? For future, you are now acting that way, regulating, your steering or whatever, for future. So you have a healthy life. Similarly, that if we have a underscoring the universality and potency of sacrifice, like this verse says, Jaggartat karmana annatra. This verse actually states that it can take us from bondage in material consciousness to liberation in spiritual consciousness. If you look at that verse, it's so wonderful, that verse. I heard that verse 40 years back, 30 years back. I never focused on it, but it's like a candy, that verse you can. So instead of offering our consciousness to the various worldly things that promise us pleasure, we can offer it lovingly to the all-powerful, all-merciful, all-loving Supreme Krishna. You want to eat? Offer this to Krishna. You can still get the remnants. Whatever you have, you want to sleep, you're tired, say, my Lord, I need to take care of this body so I can serve you better, I can think tomorrow. Just offer it, everything. You go to bathroom. Well, if I don't go to bathroom, it will smell bad. And I want to, for clean body, to do his chanting or others. And for the pleasure of the devotee, that otherwise they feel horrible if I pass stool on my clothes or something. I mean, everything. Why I'm bringing this dirty means anything you do, how you can offer it to Krishna. Just find the link. You are working for UPS. You offer this for Krishna's pleasure, you're doing it. So you have a nice facility, you can practice better. You follow? Everything has to be there. And he will, Krishna, when we do this, what will happen? Krishna will reciprocate. He will reciprocate. How? By raising our consciousness. I mean, can you reflect back 20 years back how you were eating and nowadays what? I can reflect. I'm sure you all can. I don't do a lot of things I used to do. See the ice cream, Sri Vishnu, just put in the mouth. I don't. Really, you offer it. There's nothing wrong of chanting Sri Vishnu, but it's like a little cheating that I don't want to suffer, so I can. But nowadays, you really offer it to the Lord. You will think that for Lord's pleasure, and then you take. So like this, because our consciousness is uplifting, and this is necessary. How it comes? How consciousness is uplifting? By reciprocating with Him. Whatever we are doing every day, even you making a note, you're thinking how, if I focus on the notes, the key points, and my consciousness will be more focused to understand this creation, my life in relation to Krishna, then this reciprocation, Krishna will say, okay, this soul is trying to understand and come back. So as a reciprocation, your consciousness already will be uplifted. This is so nice. Indeed, a life of devotional service can help us live meaningfully, both in here and thereafter. This is very nice. So Jagna also here mentioned, refer to Jagnas, like when we chant, we should also focus something. Am I chanting like to show everybody that I'm chanting? Am I chanting like to get a, you know, they say, you're chanting for the Naam or you're getting chanting of the Naam? Means you are chanting Krishna's name or you chanting people thinking you are chanting. We have to be very cautiously that we should sacrifice our life to Krishna. And when we sacrifice, we should also not looking anything back. It's like if I give you $10, it's my gift to you. You have a change, like you can give me $9. I wanted to give you $1. It's like you giving 10, actually you're not giving 10. You know what I mean? Yeah. My Lord, you know, I worship you, but protect me. Wait. It's kind of a little bargaining, like, you know, I want a new car and I'm not getting a good price. My Lord, you know, I love you. There's the new mango I want to offer you, but I want a new car. This is not really exactly uplifting consciousness. It's better than not offering at all. You follow? It's better than not offering at all. But ultimately, consciousness has to believe. Yes, because even these 4 types of people that comes to Krishna, Jana, Sukriti, and Arjuna, Arti, Jigyasu, Artharti, Gyani. who needs, seek money or curiosity, gather more knowledge, those come, they don't have a bhakti. But Krishna says at least they are coming to me. Then with the devotee association, they will become devotee. So they are better than if somebody never comes to Krishna for any reason. So there is a gradation. It's all good as long as they keep coming. Eventually they will purify. Another good thing is this karma yoga is that even if you like, I'm not promoting that, if you like pizza and you're offering pizza to Krishna and say, well, this is the best thing, actually, I like it, I think Krishna will like it. You're not asking whether Krishna likes or not. You think you like it, but you want to offer it so that this is a prasadam, it's good. But Krishna is so merciful. This sloka actually gives that. Krishna takes the yoga and throw the karma. So you're actually connecting. Eventually that soul will, because if you look at two ways, one is what pleases Krishna. Okay, that's very nice. I may not be able to do that, but I like particular things because I think it's very good. Okay, you think this is more valuable, then you can also offer that food. It's fine. Because eventually Krishna will take your intention, and because you're connecting, so it's a karma yoga. He will throw the karma and he will keep the yoga. You will be connected with him. This is beautiful. This verse is actually very beautiful. Okay. Now, in our Varnashram system, of course, this is also talks about Varnashram system, that you are not born with ashram, you are born with Varna. Ashram means a place, shrama. Shrama means a labor, austere. But there has to be under guidance. Without guru or teacher, there is no ashram. You cannot just put on saffron or, say I'm Banaprastha or Brahmachari or, no. You have to have a guru or teacher, in other words. Because ashram, you're born with the Varna. Varna also is not fundamental function. It is a functional like you are a grihastha. Arjuna is a Kshatriya. These are functional identity, functional identity. I am a UPS man. I'm a delivery man. Or I'm a husband. You follow? Who are you? I'm American. These are functional identity. Functional identity is related to what? To the soul? No. Related to the body and the mind. So functional identity always has to be under the fundamental identity, means, and at constitutional, I'm a servant of Krishna. So is it pleasing Krishna? But I'm in this neighborhood or do this kind of job or this is what I eat. So, but whatever it is, the functional identity, fundamental identity has to be on top. In other words, there is a material duty, there is a spiritual duty. So if you have a guru, means you have an ashram. So guru's direction, your functional identity becomes actually fundamental. So Arjuna, as I mentioned this last week also, that Arjuna wants to, if Arjuna say, I want to fight, or I cannot fight, both are false ego. But when Arjuna says, I'm ready, my Lord, whatever you want me to do, that is fundamental. So he's a fighter, he still fought, but it is under Krishna's sanction. You follow? Then it's the ashram. This is a transcendental. So this is wonderful. Okay. This is a very critical. How is lying to ourselves very dangerous? This is 3.6. Look at it. Suppose someone we work with lies to us frequently. I hope you never had anybody like that. Claiming either that they can do things they cannot or they don't want, something like this. Being repeatedly misled by them, we will eventually realize they are unreliable, isn't it? And somebody keeps on doing it. Won't the same thing happen if we lie to ourselves? Think for a moment. Suppose we need to follow a strict regimen to improve our health. Okay. Suppose further, we don't follow it because we are too lazy, but claim to not follow it because we are too weak. We will end up becoming unreliable to ourselves, isn't it? So what makes lying to ourselves further dangerous is that we human are psychologically vulnerable to manipulation by repetition. Somebody says that Hitler's propaganda was, or his minister's propaganda was, put it well, if you tell a lie big enough, keep repeating it, people will eventually come to believe it. I mean, in India, they say, Prabhupada mentioned that story, and I think it's a Gopal Bharan. There was a Brahmana who was carrying a goat to sacrifice for Kali. But this gang, they want to take this goat. So he's saying, why are you carrying a dog? You're a Brahmana. He said, this is not a dog, this is a goat. But then they were 10. So they split this 5 miles road, every half an hour or something, every half mile. He said, I can't believe, I never saw somebody carry a dog on the soul. It's like a humiliating into to a point where he finally almost arrived. He thought, he's looking at dog or goat? It is a goat. Why they are saying it is dog? 1 man, 2 men, 3 men, 5 men, 10 men. Forget it. It's a human lady. Yeah, it's true story. It's true story. Prabhupada mentioned that. That's very interesting. So it's true. When exposed to our repeated lies, our intelligence will weaken. It will become weak. We won't even know when we are lying and when we are not. I hope you didn't have any experience. Pertinently, was that there's one president of America, I forget his name. He's Jimmy Carter. He said, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember. I thought it was a genius. Somebody said, online you can look at it. I like, wow, there's some president here. Maybe. But he says something very, I loved it. He said, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember. Because truth you will not forget. But if you lie, you have to remember what you said. So, yes. So being unable to rely on ourselves is far more crippling than being unable to rely on others. Why? Because we can replace others, not ourselves. Isn't? We are fast and indispensable resource for doing anything, including even consulting others. How can we make ourselves more reliable to ourselves? This is a very important question, because this is what Arjuna is going through, dilemma. And Krishna is giving him a suggestion. I'm coming to that point. But consciously means with intelligence, striving to be honest with ourselves, that is required. What if we still lie to ourselves because of habit? I don't know if you ever met somebody. They lie so many times and they kind of like it became like it's not a big deal. I don't know if you ever met. Yes, they exist. Yeah. What if we still lie to ourselves because of habit? This is a very nice. We can make time for regular introspection, wherein we evaluate our self-talk. When we thus confess to ourselves, we strengthen and sharpen our intelligence, thereby creating the foundation for reforming ourselves. one devotee, I won't say, he chants 16 rounds in half an hour. I said, how about let's sit down? He said, no. I said, why not? I want to chant. How you chant so fast, I want to see. So I do it. I'm doing this for decades. I said, just help me. I need your help. Because I never could chant 16 rounds in half an hour. So, okay. I said, how we are going to do? Every time we finish one round, we'll take one flower. We'll have 108 flower. We'll offer it to the Lord. So you do your part, and I am going to watch you, and you watch me, and how we chant. And make sure we chant tonight. And the result was not good. I won't say more further than that. But this is true. Sometimes we lie and it becomes a habit and we feel like it's okay. It's dangerous. So what is the bottom line? If we lie to ourselves, we cannot rely on ourselves. So do not lie to yourself. Self-confession is foundational for self-transformation. This is very nice. Okay, the next question is, we're doing today good. We don't have a distraction much. The next question was, since Jnana Yoga gives liberation, how does Lord Krishna show Karma Yoga is better than Jnana Yoga? Now everybody understand. Karma Kanda, Karma Yoga. Karma is supposed to lead to Karma Yoga, which is goes to Jnana Yoga. This ultimately goes to the Bhakti. This is a ladder of Yoga ladder. We are in this material world. You have a material body. I have material body. This is a material world, physical world. How do you make balance with the material nature with your physical body? So you do some exercise. It's called Hatha Yoga. The reason Hatha Yoga came just to harmonize the material nature, material body world with the material body. It's nothing to do with the mind or the soul. It's just the body. You do some exercise and the nature will balance with it. But then you find out you have a mind. And mind and the physical body has to also balance. So you do Ashtanga Yoga, Pranayama, main Pranayama. They do. Every yoga center, they do Pranayama. So that's good. So you have a physical body with the subtle body, you balance it. Harmonize. But then you find out, well, more than mind. I'm the soul. I'm not the mind. Thanks, Krishna. Mind is horrible. So there has to be another yoga, connection. Yoga means connection to harmonize between the subtle body, mind, headed by, and the soul. What is that called? Jnana Yoga, knowledge. That's where the Jnana comes. The Arjuna's point is that Jnana liberates, separate from the material to spiritual. I'm spirit. I'm nothing to do with the material. Okay, I want to just go with the Jnana Yoga. Arjuna has a beautiful question. You know, sometimes our mind creates that doubt. Then in the yoga ladder, we find where you harmonize the soul with the mind, that's good. But that's not enough. You have somebody else in next to you who you need to focus, otherwise you are vulnerable position. Your own existence, depending on you, have no chance to be peaceful. Soul by their own, because they were part. So turn your face towards how? Dhyana Yoga. So Dhyana Yoga was introduced. That you meditate on the super soul, you know, yogi. Pradesha matram purusham vasantam, 8 inches, whatever. But from here to here, whoever, I mean, Prabhupada writes 8 inches, but 8 inches means on his finger. But here to here, I guess it's too much to translate. How do you translate from here to here? Somebody will say, you mean like little bent or completely spread? Oh, too much. So Prabhupada writes 8 inches. Okay, easy. For some people, maybe more. Some people hand maybe little, you know. But the idea is Pradesha Mattam. Pradesha means from here to here. Vasantam, and the super soul is this big in your heart. So you meditate like that. But then you find out, well, connecting with him, everything harmonized, very nice. He's so beautiful. This is what biggest problem with a lot of yogis. They did not develop any activity to please him or bhakti. So they get bewildered. Then they think the whole idea is just to merge in him. Prabhupada said this is more abominable than Brahman merging. So those who are coming to this Dhyana Yoga, they have to learn Bhakti Yoga. So this is Yoga ladder. Now here is the question. When we do Karma Yoga for Krishna, what Krishna does? Krishna takes our karma away and gives us yoga. So 3.9, Jagartat karmana annatra lokayam karma vandanam. For succeeding or even surviving in life, we need to work. Am I right? Yeah, just to survive. When we become spiritually aware, we understand that worldly actions bind us to this material world, which is a place of distress. So we strive to disentangle ourselves from this world. How can we engage without becoming entangled? That is the question. And Krishna answered by doing Karma Yoga. But Karma Yoga is not just a complete sentence. Karma Yoga for Krishna. That has to be addressed. That's why I love the way Prabhupada said, action in Krishna consciousness. He could have said Karma Yoga, action in yoga. No, he said action in Krishna consciousness. I love that, perfectly done. So karma refers to the various action we do during the course of our life. Yoga refers to the process that connects us with our spiritual essence. Karma Yoga infuses our worldly actions with detachment, thereby transforming those actions into steps towards disentanglement. So this verse that we just read, Jagartat Karmana Annatra, cautious that all other work causes bondage. You see the first thing? Well, I remember, I could not memorize the English, but that verse I remember. Work done for the satisfaction of Vishnu must be performed, otherwise work binds. I remember in Mayapur, everybody, all the Bengali bus, they memorized that translation.
Somebody's working, how he becomes released from the body. Because basically, whatever he's doing, he'll be bound by that.
Yes, that is true. What you said is correct. But say if I am working for UPS, then what is the purpose of working? Okay, if I don't work, let's say I don't work anymore. Now what will happen? Well, I won't be able to pay the mortgage. I won't be able to eat. Then what happened? I'll get sick. I'll be kicked out of the house. And then this way, if you go to the down to the end, then you'll think that's life is horrible. But Krishna says that you should do jagna. So I'm working for UPS. This is blessing of Krishna that he engaged me to get some facility where I can actually serve him better. And in my house, there's a devotee. My wife is a devotee. My husband is a devotee. Children is a devotee. They're devotees. So I have to take care of them devotees. And I have a nice altar. And the people will see my behavior, my satisfaction in life with Krishna consciousness. They will be attracted. These things are all actually Krishna taking it as a literary, directly he is reciprocating with you. As you are offering before you eat, Krishna is satisfied. Even though he doesn't need. Noeva Atmana Prabhu Nijo Lava Purna. He is self-satisfied, that verse says. Noeva Atmana Prabhu Nijo Lava Purna. Manav Jana Abhidusya Korona Brite. But nobody has actually purity, pure heart to offer anything. But Prahlad Maharaj says, Manav Jana Korona Brinite. Korona Brinite means because God has a mercy, Koruna, he will accept it even though you are not qualified to offer him. He will accept out of his compassionate nature. So when he accepts it, your food become purified. And who's getting benefited? The person who offered it. So this reciprocal, it become actually satisfaction to Krishna and satisfaction to the soul. Manayava sadhu Krishnam lokayam karma bandhana. Jat krita Krishna samprasna jayatma suprasiddhati. Anything that connected with Krishna, the Atma, Krishna Atma and this Atma, both Atma will be satisfied. Suprasiddhati. This is what consciousness uplifting we can see. It makes sense? Okay. So becoming materially disentangled is itself not complete liberation. The supreme liberation fulfills this longing by linking us soul with the supreme soul. Krishna is in a bond of immortal love. When we do karma yoga for Krishna, we do our worldly duties in a mood of loving service to him. I'm sure he's thinking many times in his day, okay, I'm doing this. Oh, Krishna, he's chanting while he's driving. Thank you for doing this. I'm sure you do that, right, Prabhu? Yeah, he does that. And there is enough income coming so that he pays the bill. They have a nice family. And it's ultimately, and is becoming more advanced in Krishna consciousness. And Krishna reciprocate. And if you say no activity, just lazy, Krishna never allowed that to Arjuna. Neither he wants anyone. So when we reciprocally we are performing this kind of service, such action, we become purified. And attachment, and also it develop attached, isn't it? I see that so many years I'm doing this, now I'm becoming very attached to Krishna. It's a natural, we become attached to Krishna. Thereby freeing our consciousness from worldly allurement. Such karma yoga rises seamlessly to bhakti yoga, wherein we don't just work for Krishna, but we live for him. Our entire being becomes devoted to him. When we live in a mood of uninhibited devotional surrender, Krishna, being the Lord of karma, frees us from karmic reaction. Sarva dharman parityaja, Krishna said that. So what happened that time? Rather than worrying how we will stay disentangled while being engaged, we can focus on devoting all our actions to Krishna. And he will take our karma, give us yoga of eternal love. This is beautiful. Okay, the next question. Oh, we have only 2 questions left. How is liberty from responsibility, slavery to irresponsibility? How is liberty from responsibility? So, if you go to 16 sloka, because 11 to 16 is a karma kanda. Krishna is promoting that. I divided the whole 3rd chapter into section by section. So that verse, Krishna is giving a very nice, wonderful explanation that we all long for liberty. Who doesn't want freedom? Who? Everybody wants freedom. In today's uncommitted age, we may conceive of liberty as freedom to do whatever we feel like doing. It always reminds me of this. One person says, why can't they do whatever they want? I say, yeah, that's a good idea. Do you love anybody in your house? I love my mom. I said, guess what? That guy walking on the street, he said, I feel like to kill this lady, your mom happened to. Is that okay? Let him do whatever he wants. Why are you talking to me like that? I said, you just said, let everybody do whatever they want. He doesn't like your mom and he wants to kill. Is that okay? No. I said, so then don't say everybody should be allowed to do whatever they want. There has to be law. That would be horrible. Because sometimes when people are like stubborn, you have to hit them something they're attached in their heart. So feeling driven actions can be binding, not liberating. This is very important. Because our feelings are often fickle and unreliable. Let's give an example. Someone feels like drinking. They give in to that feeling. They may drink excessively and end up addicted. You ever saw? My jeweler was Krill, intermister. I learned a lot through him in our shop, the jeweler. You ever saw him? Yeah, he was a member of AA, Alcohol Anonymous. But I learned a lot about addiction from him. He was a practical man. What he was going through, he was explaining. So Bhagavad Gita, that 3.16, cautious that those who don't sacrifice for a higher cause live in vain. This is so nice verse. Dissipating their life in gratifying petty sensual desires. In contrast, a sense of responsibility can empower us, isn't it? For example, kids may feel like playing all the time. It's true. I mean, most of the kids. But when they have a sense of responsibility to their parents, they will contemplate that their parents are working hard to pay for their education. And that contemplation will inspire them to study diligently, isn't it? Thereby freeing them to create a good career. Can some obligations be too restrictive or unbeneficial? Possibly, but to discern this, we need clear intelligence. It's true. Not clamorous feeling that rebel against all responsibility. Ultimately, our aspiration for liberty is fulfilled by bhakti. How? Bhakti wisdom explains that we are spirit souls, parts of the all-powerful Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. We are meant to delight in eternal love for him, isn't it? When we connect with him in a mood of loving service, that connection provides us what? Higher pleasure. We feel inspired to connect steadily with him, thereby gradually pushing out lower desire from our consciousness. When we are thus freed from our lower desire and filled with the desire to love and serve Krishna, that consciousness is the supreme liberty. Make sense? Good. The liberty to delight in love and joy unending. So what is the conclusion we learned? Bhakti paves the way to liberty, not by rejecting all responsibility, but by facilitating the most empowering responsibility. What is it? Connecting lovingly with Krishna. This is very nice. And the last question for today. We have 5 minutes. How can we live purposefully and powerfully? Other day somebody asked that question. Find our life enriched with a sublime meaning that will make our life's problem bearable, successful, and joyful at the end. From that same verse, read the translation of Prabhupada, 3.16. You have it? No, the translation.
Some certainly leads a life of sin. For a person delighting only in the senses lives in pain.
This is very true. So what we need a strong sense of purpose to translate whatever talents we have into tangible achievement. People suffer mostly, I see, they don't have a purpose. They don't know. They just go on like a machine. However, even if we have a purpose, even if we fulfill it, the resulting achievement won't bring fulfillment if that purpose is external to our spiritual essence. We should remember that. Huh? If it is external to our spiritual essence, it will still not satisfy. Some people may aspire, let's say example, to plant a victory flag atop some mountain, because in San Diego, we used to live nearby Mount Soledad. I don't know if anybody heard. The La Jolla is the rich city. We didn't live in La Jolla, but next to La Jolla and border, Mount Soledad. And there was a fighting still going on, I heard. It was very funny after 30 years. Somebody wants a particular religion flag, and the other group in the neighborhood, they don't want. They want different kind of flags. So it's like fight. Then somebody came up, they want a cross, and other says, no, there's no way. So, say in this case, it's physical or metaphorical. It's physical. After scaling that mountain, they find the view from there is not all that exciting and wonder what to do next. Frequently, achievements are acutely anticlimactic. So purposelessness can befall us not just after achieving our purpose, but also more commonly after failing to achieve it. If injury immobilize an athlete, what's his name? Pele from Brazil. He came to Calcutta, I remember. I was a little boy. It was a big deal. We call soccer, no, football in India. Here we call soccer. He was a gold medalist, something like that. So it's very interesting that and he was narrating this story. If injury immobilize an athlete, or if rejection shatters a romantic, which I hope we all experience, or maybe you know someone, they feel that they have nothing to live for. I don't know if you ever felt, I'm sure you did for some time, for 1 day or 1 hour or 1 month, some fighting with a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. I won't go in details. People commit even suicide, not just because many things have gone wrong in their life, but often because those wrong things have left them purposeless. This is a very detected opinion. They scrutinize because they think life has no purpose. It's not like, okay, she doesn't like me or he doesn't like me, just like life is. There's no purpose of it. So they become suicidal. Can't we come up with some other purpose? Possibly. But even with that purpose, we'll meet same eventually of dissatisfaction after fulfilling the purpose, of frustration after failing to fulfill it. Thankfully, Bhagavad Gita, this verse empowers us with an enduring and fulfilling purpose. the purpose of connecting with Krishna through loving service. And Bhagavad Gita also cautions that without spiritual connection, nothing can provide us peace of or joy. The purpose comes not from our subjective infatuation with something, but from the objective knowledge of who we are. Krishna's eternal parts means to delight with him in perennial loving harmony. This devotional purpose is so wonderful that it does not have to be fulfilled to bring fulfillment. The purpose itself brings fulfillment. Any example you know? Think. Jatayu. Jatayu is Prabhupada gave a very good example. The purpose itself brings fulfillment. If our particular service works out, that's great. But even if it does not, like in his case, he could not protect Sita from Ravana. He knew that. It's not like he didn't know Ravana. He knew that he's nothing for that, but he tried his best. But even if it does not, just sustaining the intention to serve Krishna establishes a connection with him, thereby granting us sublime spiritual satisfaction. This is so beautiful, because even Lord Ram told to Jatayu, do you want new body? No. Just by looking at your beautiful face, I want to leave and go back to spiritual world and serve you there eternally. Lord Ram says, let it be. So materially, maybe he failed, you can say. I mean, in one sense, he has. He lost his wing, he could not protect. Which way he went? Nothing. But spiritually, because it's connected with Ram, it's connected with Krishna, it's the biggest success, isn't it? Okay. We finished all the questions. Now we're going to chant for Mridanga. Keshav Prabhu, you want to play the harmonium? You have to offer it. Eh? No, right now, offer it. I'm done. We are going to chant a little bit, few minutes. We're done. We just finished the class. You want to play the harmonium?
Yeah.
You can just move that. And Gopal, you going to play the Mridanga? Mother Gopi, can you offer this? So he can be free. He can play the Mridanga. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Desha Tarini Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Prabhu Nityananda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhupada Jaya, 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 Gurudev. Gurudev, Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Hare Krishna Mancha Galpataru Patitanam Pavane Vaishnavebho Namo Namo. Nice to see you, all of you. We're looking forward to see you next week. Hare Krishna.